I think one of the smarter things that India has done over the last few years is A, refusing to see Arjun Kapoor's movies, choosing Tollywood over Bollywood, and now presenting a united front across political parties in response to Pakistani terror attacks and India's response to those terror attacks, that is Operation Sindoor. After Operation Sindoor, the foreign delegation under the same name is turning out to be a big PR success for India. I think a couple of real stars that are putting forward India's point of view are not even from the ruling BJP. They're from two of BJP's biggest critics. They're in fact two of BJP's biggest critics and opponents, Shashi Tharoor and Asaduddin Owaisi. We've already made a Hindi language video about Shashi Tharoor, but let's talk about Owaisi in this video because he's one of India's most prominent Muslim leaders and he represents one of India's most prominent Muslim parties, the AIMIM. A lot of discussion around Operation Sindoor, mainly outside of India and mainly, sadly but not surprisingly, in liberal progressive circles, has missed the entire point of Operation Sindoor. Many are calling this a Hindu-Muslim issue in the sense that a Hindu nationalist India is bullying and attacking poor Muslim Pakistan, which any Indian or even any educated observer of Operation Sindoor and of the India-Pakistan conflict knows that it's complete horseshit. And thankfully, Owaisi has played a big part in putting rest to that theory. Owaisi has directly pointed out the lies and slammed Pakistan for spreading false information.
Pakistani army chief had gifted a photo to the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. President of Pakistan was there, the Speaker of National Assembly was there. And these stupid jokers, they want to compete with India. They had given a photograph of a 2019 Chinese army drill, claiming it's a victory over India. Now this is what Pakistan indulges in.
He has exposed the role of Pakistan-based terrorist groups in the Pahalgam attack and in multiple other attacks that have happened in India. Owaisi explained how terrorist organizations use Islamist ideology to encourage jihad against the Hindus in India.
Hafiz Saeed's son's speech is there. I have heard that speech. He had said that 2025 में पूरा जिहाद होगा और खून की नदियां बहेंगी.
Right after the Pahalgam attack, Owaisi had clearly called the attack a religiously motivated terrorist attack, which is exactly what it was.
और इन कमीनों हरामजादों ने जो हरकत की वहां पर नाम पूछकर गोली मारे, समुदाय पूछकर मारे, तो ये इसकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी तो होनी चाहिए. और यकीनन ये दहशतगर्द हमारे पड़ोसी मुल्क पाकिस्तान से आए.
At that time, there were some people that were busy blaming the government instead of the terrorists, but Owaisi openly spoke the truth without any hesitation. And for that, he should get a lot of credit. He has been speaking against Pakistan ever since, really. Owaisi has listed all the major terror attacks carried out by Pakistan in India. These are the same attacks that neither Congress nor many Indian Muslim leaders openly accept were planned and orchestrated by Pakistan. Even though Pakistan itself has claimed responsibility for these attacks multiple times. In fact, after the Pahalgam attack, two of Pakistan's most prominent politicians, one, Pakistan's own current defense minister, went on the BBC and openly said that Pakistan has been training and funding terrorists for many, many years.
You do admit, sir, that Pakistan has had a long history of backing and supporting and training and funding these terrorist organizations.
Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, and West, including Britain.
Secondly, a prominent politician in the current Pakistani government and the son of two previous prime ministers of Pakistan, Bilawal Bhutto, also conceded on a news channel interview that Pakistan has had a long-standing problem of funding and supporting terrorism.
As far as what the defense minister said, I don't think that it's a secret that Pakistan has a past as far as extremist groups are concerned. And as a result of this, we have suffered. Pakistan has suffered.
So you've heard this not from some Hinduttvadi, but from the horse's mouth. Because people are trying to say that Hindu India is bullying poor Pakistan. In fact, there are some in the West that are even trying to compare the India-Pakistan conflict to Israel-Palestine. And I think they're even more wrong than the people who think they know exactly what the goats and severance are all about. India deliberately targeted only recognized terrorist training camps of groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba, which are declared terrorist groups not just by India, but by the United States government as well. And Pakistani military bases, most of whom are removed from civilian areas. The attacks were conducted late at night, so there could be minimum chance of any civilian presence in those areas. This is not like the Israel-Palestine conflict at all. There was a painstaking, meticulous attempt by the government of India to minimize any civilian casualties. There was no ground invasion from India precisely because it would increase the chance of civilian casualties. Compare that to Pakistan, that deliberately targeted civilians as a response to Operation Sindoor. Their first targets after Operation Sindoor were a Gurudwara or a Sikh temple where 3 innocent Sikhs were killed by the Pakistani army. Their next target was a middle school where 5 innocent children were murdered by the Pakistani army. The whole point of the Pakistani army's retaliation was to target and murder Indian civilians. India did not choose a tit-for-tat policy. They made sure that the costs for Pakistani terrorism were imposed not on innocent civilians, but on terrorists and their masters in the Pakistani army who truly deserve this punishment. And I'm very happy that at a time when their country needs them, Owaisi has put forward the true story of Pakistani terrorism and Operation Sindoor in front of the whole world. I'm very happy to see that at a time when the primary Indian opposition leader like Rahul Gandhi is attacking his own country and supporting Pakistani talking points, that Owaisi has stood firm with India. And again, he should get a lot of credit for that. His domestic policies are wrong, and I believe in many cases, his domestic policies are abhorrent. But credit where credit is due, man. I think he's done a fantastic job in putting forward India's point of view. I think he's done a fantastic job in exposing the terrorist failed state that Pakistan is and how they've basically turned terrorism into their only semi-successful export. But I want to ask you, why do you think there is such a bad understanding or a warped understanding of India-Pakistan in the West, particularly liberal and progressive circles? Why do you think that is? What do you think is behind it? And how do you think we can improve it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Other than that, if you like today's episode, guys, let me know what I should react to or make an English video on next. Other than that, I will see you for the next episode. And to all of you, take care. I'll see you for the next one. And it's a killer pranam.